My name is Zach Coco with Minarik Drives, and in this video we're going to show you how to wire up the MM301U with a speed pot. Before we wire up the drive, we're going to set the input and output voltage switches. The first one is the armature voltage. It's factory default set at 180. We're going to be using 90, so we'll switch it to 90. Then the input voltage switches, which are factory default set for 230, but we're using 115. Be sure to switch both of them. Next, we'll just make sure that the signal input is set to voltage and that the feedback is set to armature feedback. The first thing we're going to connect to the drive is the motor. These leads will go to A1 and A2. The next thing we're going to wire up is the 3-wire start-stop switch. To wire this up properly, you're going to need a normally open switch for start and a normally closed switch for stop. So we'll take our normally open switch and we're going to wire up to B1 and B2. Now we'll take our normally closed and wire this up to B2 and B3. If you didn't want to use the 3-wire start-stop switch, you would simply place a jumper between B1 and B3. This would enable your drive as soon as you apply power to it. Next, we're going to wire up the main speed potentiometer. So we'll take the common lead of the potentiometer, put it in S1, the wiper to S2, the positive to S3. Next, we're going to connect the power leads to L1 and L2. This drive has two positions for L2, one designated for 115 volts AC and one for 230. We're using 115, and then we'll connect the second lead to L1. Now that we've double checked our wiring, it's okay to apply power to the drive. We're now going to go over a quick test procedure to make sure everything is working as intended. The first step is to turn up our main speed pot to make sure the drive isn't in enable mode until we hit our start switch. So we'll turn down the speed pot and hit our start switch. We'll turn up the speed pot again, and we can see now the drive is commanding the motor to rotate. We'll test the entire speed range. And now test our stop switch to make sure the drive commands the motor to stop. We'll once again hit our start switch, see if the motor ramps back up to our set speed, and then turn our speed pot down. Everything seems to be working properly. Thank you for watching this wiring demonstration brought to you by Minarik Drives. If you have any other questions, please feel free to visit us at www.minarikdrives.com or call one of our application engineers at 815-624-6950.